Good morning. I'm Frank Buckley. A deadly freak accident involving a meat grinder at a local burrito factory. We'll have details on what happened just ahead.
And good morning. I'm Annie Rose Ramos outside of a Home Depot in Hollywood, where a network of volunteers has positioned themselves on the lookout for any federal agents. We'll explain why they're doing this coming up next.
I'm Eric Spillman. President Trump tries to tamp down the controversy over his administration's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein case. Why the MAGA base is saying it cannot be swept under the rug.
Good morning. I'm Jessica Holmes. The price of fresh tomatoes expected to go up as new tariffs take effect. We'll explain.
Hey there, everybody. Good morning. I'm Melvin Robert. Backstreet is back at the Sphere in Las Vegas, and now there's new information about the best places to sit when you go. We'll tell you where those places are in just a little bit.
I was always wondering that, but since they opened the Sphere, where would you sit?
Yeah.
Because you got so much going on. It's not not like a traditional concert, you know, front row center or, you know, just a couple rows back. But very interesting. LAX, still overcast. It's going to take a long time for the beaches to clear out. But downtown, the Valley's Inland Empire should be clearing out, if not already. 72 coastal, downtown 79. San Fernando Valley at the moment 68, going for a high of 92, still warm. And a 105 in the high desert, Inland Empire 97. Orange County up to 81 degrees. Full details in a moment, Frank.
The Trump administration plans to appeal a federal judge's ruling to stop indiscriminate immigration enforcement raids in Southern California. KTLA's Annie Rose Ramos live in Hollywood with the latest developments. Annie Rose, good morning.
Hey, Frank, good morning to you. Yeah, that's right. Last week, a federal judge blocking federal agents from conducting any ICE raids at places like car washes or here at Home Depot. But that isn't stopping a network of volunteers from positioning themselves outside of Home Depots, just like this one here in Hollywood. You can see them set up right across the street from where I'm standing. Their goal is to be on the lookout for any federal agents, and if they see one inside of a car or walking around, to alert the day laborers who are here looking for work, to tell them to get away in time before they could potentially be detained.
So there are groups of volunteers outside of this Home Depot and outside Home Depots all across Los Angeles, really monitoring to see that the temporary restraining order is kept, is respected, and also just to let community members know if they see anything suspicious given what ICE is doing across the city.
And what are they supposed to do if they see something suspicious?
Alert one another, alert workers so that day laborers can get away, so that day laborers might hear that, can stay for the day, but also street vendors who come here every day to make their, you know, their daily bread, literally, can also be protected.
These were the scenes from late last month of raids at 3 Home Depots, one in Cypress Park, Hollywood, and the other at North Hollywood. 37 people in total were detained. A spokesperson from DHS adding, quote, criminal histories of those detained include drug trafficking and theft. But according to new government data obtained by the LA Times, the latest ICE statistics show that as of June 29th, of the roughly 56,000 people detained by ICE, the majority of them did not have criminal conviction. 29% did. We spoke to one day laborer at a Home Depot this morning in Woodland Hills about the recent raids. Take a listen.
We're coming over here to war. We're not coming over here to rob. We're not coming over here to do things wrong. I never see you, a white guy, clean bathroom in the restaurant and whatever it is, you know what I mean? All the Spanish people do the whole goddamn party here in the United States.
Now, meanwhile, the Trump administration is now appealing that LA federal judge's ruling from last week, limiting the ability of agents with reasonable space beyond race, ethnicity, or occupation, so blocking them from carrying us Home Depot and car washes. The two in this case include a U.S. citizen who says he was detained by agents and believes he was targeted on the color of his skin. The White House said arrests are in accordance with the law and are vowing to fight this ruling.
Look, we're going to litigate that order because I think the order's wrong. She's assuming that the officers don't have reasonable suspicion. You know, they don't need probable cause to briefly detain and question somebody. They just need reasonable suspicion, and that's based on many articulable facts. I don't think any federal judge can dictate immigrant policy. That's a matter of Congress and for the president, and I know the Department of Justice is going to litigate this.
And Frank, Justice holding up the flyer being given to many of the day laborers here outside of Home Depot, not just this one, but we've been seeing them giving it now at multiple locations. It says how to identify ICE vehicles with photos of some of the cars that we have seen federal agents inside of at previous Los Angeles. It says these are cars actually operate. These are folks to carry and be on looking for just like one that rated multiple times. Hollywood, I'll send it back guys in the studio.
Rose, thank you. That morning, the cost of tomatoes is expected to increase as President Trump announces a 30% tariff on all goods from Mexico. The same levy is also being applied to Europe. The new tariffs would go into effect August 1st. They come after weeks of negotiations failed to come up with a deal. President Trump says the tariffs would go even higher if either the U.S. or EU or Mexico impose retaliatory tariffs. For now, he says it will hold off on such actions. It still strike a deal. Meanwhile, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics says tomato could rise by about 10% as a result of the tariff against Mexico.
Some of President Trump's top supporters are criticizing the Justice Department over the Jeffrey Epstein case. Some MAGA supporters are demanding that Mr. Fire body for allegedly holding fire. KTLADT's Eric Spillman in there to explain. Eric, good morning.
Morning. During his campaign, Donald Trump and his supporters received about Jeffrey Epstein. They claimed that the administration covered up what happened. So many in the MAGA faithful had hoped that the Trump administration would reveal a smoking gun, and they're disappointed that isn't happening.
Are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable.
President last week urging his supporters to quit asking about Jeffrey Epstein. The convicted sex offender and financier died in his jail cell back in 2019, and as a candidate, Trump and his backers promoted about him, claiming that his death may not have been a suicide and that there was a list of clients, including well-known politicians and other famous people who had visited Epstein's island and had sex with underage girls. Back in February, Trump's own Attorney General, Pam Bondi, gave an interview with Fox in which she suggested that a client would
DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
Sitting on my desk right now.
But last week, a new memo from the department and the FBI concluded that Epstein never had a list and that Epstein killed himself in jail, and that there would be no additional records in the investigation. That has angered some most ardent supporters who feel like they were ripped off. Some are calling Fox News host Laura Ingraham speaking to a group of young conservatives in Tampa over the weekend.
How many you can